Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Texas Chain Saw Massacre, the game video. We just talked about the latest Muerto times, and now the brand new patch notes have just dropped, and I want to go over them right now, give my feedback, and just the changes to look forward to this coming Tuesday, September 19th, assuming that all certs and QA goes the way they planned. First of all, it's worth noting that they have continued to improve their anti-cheat measures, and this patch carries some vital changes going towards that. However, it doesn't sound like crossplay is going to be back in play for PC players just yet, but it sounds like it's right around the corner. Now, let's get on to the actual patch notes. Sissy poison attacks have been fixed. This bug resulted in all Sissy attacks having a poison effect. Sissy's normal attacks will no longer have a poison effect. Special Blend can still provide a poison attack only on her next strike, and Rubber Legs can still slow down victims already affected by poison. Sissy was by far the most broken character in the game, and it was not even close. The poison stacking was brutal. You couldn't run away at all if you got face to face with a maxed out Sissy. So this has now been changed, it has been fixed, and I'm glad that that's going to bring balance back to the force, because good lord, it was brutal going against Sissy, and I feel for all the victim mains out there because she was not fun to go against, and hopefully this is all it takes to make her back to being balanced. Fixed players blocking themselves. We resolved an issue where a player could block themselves, resulting in matchmaking issues and errors. I had no idea this is a thing, but that's kind of hilarious. Glad it's fixed though. Change fuse box locations on Slaughterhouse. The fuse box will no longer spawn next to the Slaughterhouse door. I figured this was going to be the change when they mentioned fuse box was changing in Slaughterhouse, because when it does spawn there, the advantage for victims to get a fuse box escape goes up tremendously versus the other two locations, that being the facility and the tool storage stairs. So yeah, that location made a huge difference, and I figured when they said they were changing it, that's what they were going to do, and that's exactly what they did. So it looks like there's only going to be 2 fuse box locations for the Slaughterhouse, so I guess it also could make it easier for victims to find it. So pros and cons there. Change valve handle spawns on Slaughterhouse. We've moved the spawn location of the valve handle on the side of the garage to be in a more high traffic area, and we moved the spawn location of the valve handle on the side of the animal pen to be in a more high traffic area. Now, don't get me wrong, this will make a bit of a difference, but honestly, I don't think you're going to see less valve escapes. The problem with valve escapes on Slaughterhouse have nothing to do with the actual handle spawns. I mean, this will maybe lower it in like very brand new games. It'll be harder to find them, I guess, but the biggest issue with the valve escape on Slaughterhouse is that it's just so easy to defend as a victim because you're right next to bone scraps in the basement, and it's so hard for family to run all the way down into the basement at Slaughterhouse without defending everything else on the map, and it usually takes 2 family members to do so because of the bone scraps down there. So that's really the issue. I'm not so sure the handle spawns will make a difference at all, but you know, I guess we'll see what the data shows when we get to the next patch. Tuned efficient grappler perks level reduced. They've all just dropped 5%. So level 1's 10%, level 2 is 15%, and level 3 is 20%. It was 15, 20, 25. And the same actually goes for efficient backstabber, but this one got a much bigger nerf because now it's down to 10, 15, 20% for level 3, when before it was actually 20, 30, 40%. So this one is a much more significant nerf. They definitely pulled down those bone scraps even more. And I don't think victim mains are going to like that, so I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Tuned the Connie ability cooldown. They've added to the base cooldown time for Connie's focused ability, but they didn't share the specifics and how long that is. And the same goes for Leland's ability cooldown. They've added to the base cooldown time for Leland's lifesaver ability. I said in our last video when we talked about the Muerto times, I don't necessarily think either of these characters need their cooldown ability to be changed. Maybe Leland, but I really don't think Connie should be changed at all. Most people are saving it for the last exit anyway, so it really doesn't make that big of a difference in terms of which door it is. A lot of people want to use it once anyway, so I don't think this is going to change a lot of balancing in terms of Connie. Maybe Leland a little bit, but we'll see. They've also changed the escape restraints minigame. They've adjusted the minigame to escape your restraints at the start of a match. It will now require slightly more taps to escape, and the overall minigame will take slightly longer to complete. Strength and stealth still affect this minigame, and players can build accordingly. So they're just trying to slow down that early game. Again, I don't think this is going to make that big of a difference. I mean, they said it's a slight change to the overall mini game. I don't know, maybe you see a difference, but really, I think if you really want to slow down the early game, you got to either make it where Grandpa doesn't wake up as easily, or you got to make it where the door is harder to pick in the basement. I don't think the actual mini game of escaping your restraints really changes much, but we'll see how that plays out. And last but not least, 7-player requirements. They've reinstated the 7-player requirement for lobbies to launch. I think that's the right choice. I know you're probably gonna have to wait longer to actually play a full game, but going in, whether it's 2v4 or 3v3, either way, the balance breaks. The game was designed to be 3v4, and when it's not, it gets very one-sided. So yeah, it should be 7 players. It should be 3v4. It's just more fair that way on both sides. But that's it. That's the patch notes for Tuesday, September 19th. They also mentioned that the next edition of the Muerto Times will arrive on Wednesday, September 20th. Of course, we'll be here to go over that as well. So that's my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. That's going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more updates like this one. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.